Inspired by sound.
Hi, hello everyone. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of video because this time I'm actually inspired by a melody. And I'm going to show you my recording process, my workflow using Complete Control and Logic Pro X. And what some of you might not know actually is that I'm visually impaired. I have no sight whatsoever. So throughout this video you're going to be hearing some very fast-paced speech, which is my computer reading back to me everything that I'm doing within Logic. So it might confuse some of you and freak some of you out, but those of you who follow me that also are blind, you'll enjoy this. I think you'll get the hang of what I'm doing. So the melody that I have, at least that I came up with recently, is like this. So it's very simple. And there's a myriad of ways to play that. You can play it like a sort of bossa nova thing. But then I was thinking more of a slow jam, take it R&B. So I need new sounds for that. So when I load Logic for the first time, I have two sounds in front of me. This piano, which you are probably all familiar with by now, which is, excuse me, the Koi X Pro piano.
Track 2 complete. Group 1 updated.
Track 2 is empty, just called complete. And that sound, the first thing you heard there was the my speech on my Mac telling me that I've changed track. I can either do that from this Bluetooth keyboard, which is always on my knee during these videos, or I can do it from the my Complete Control keyboard itself.
Track 1 piano. Group 1 updated.
The up arrow key on the keyboard. So first things first, I need to change over to a new sound. And so the recording process begins. I don't know how long this video is going to end up. It might be short, it might be long, and I might not even be able to write anything down at all. But this is simply just unedited, raw, uncut in the studio live. Well, I say live, pre-recorded for you, live for me, to show what might happen during the recording session. I have no idea if it's going to work out. It might be crap, it might fail. I literally don't know. So first things first, I hit the preset browse key. I know where I want to go, sort of.
Factory.
I press the page left to get to the factory content because I've been in user content all this time. I now want to go to Sonic Achure's Broken Whirly. So I can spin
Polyplex.
knob number 2 here and go backwards.
SD read organ. Battery. Malicious key.
No.
Bitrate ion mono. Box of tricks. Broken whirly.
Broken Whirly. Fantastic. This is the product that I want to use for my first sound.
Progress dialed.
I've clicked on the big knob here, which is the enter key.
Untitled tracks window. Track 1 piano. Group.
So I want to find a sound now that would give me the kind of
Progress
feel
dialed.
that I want. So I'm
Untitled
pressing
tracks
the
window.
plus,
Track 1 piano. Group.
the preset down key. I want something with a bit
Progress
of
dialed.
pizzazz, you see.
Untitled tracks window. Track 1 piano. Group. Progress dialed. Untitled tracks window. Track 1 piano. Group.
Yeah, and that's the way that it goes, you see. The recording process can take a long time or a short time.
Progress
Depends
dialed.
on how lucky you get.
Untitled track.
Right, so I have a sound. What's this sound called, actually?
Preset. Broken whirly.
It's called
Dragon
Broken
Edit.
Whirly. It's the actual... It's the Broken Whirly sound
Levels.
itself.
Broken.
Right, now what can I do with this? I want to adjust this because I want a bit of a wah-wah on this if I can achieve that. Let's see what we've got this morning.
Broken.
The Broken from Broken Whirly. The Broken Whirly is called this because the speaker in the Wurlitzer that Sonic Ature recorded is broken. One of them is broken.
Line out.
And
Speaker.
I'll turn all of these
Broken.
things down. That's the broken speaker. If I turn that down,
Line out.
turn the line out up, which is actually working. It's a bit low.
Line out.
That's reasonable.
Line out. Speaker.
And the last
line
one-
out. Speaker.
Is the non-broken speaker. So I've turned the line out and the broken down. So that's nice.
Speaker.
Let's have a mix of speaker and line out a little.
Line out. Line out. Speaker. Line out.
And what you'll notice
Speaker.
is every time I touch one of these knobs, those of you who didn't know, and from my previous videos you might not, is that they are touch sensitive and the keyboard talks to the computer, which then talks to me. This is how I've been able to do all these videos so far using this game-changing software from Native Instruments called Complete Control. And it has genuinely been a game changer because a lot of the software that I have been using recently has been inaccessible up until now. This is amazing. And it might just sound like hyperbole, but it is genuinely amazing. It has opened up doors for me as a musician, a composer that I've never been able to get to before in my life. And that's all true.
Tremolo, depth.
So,
Levels, speaker. Tremolo, depth.
tremolo, depth,
Filter,
filter, cutoff,
Reso, Feg.
resonance,
Velo.
frequency, velocity.
Levels, AmpEG and FiltEG.
So these page buttons now, whereas in the browser they took me between the factory and the user content, will now take me between
AmpEG and FiltEG.
the different options that the plugin allows, because there are only 8 knobs on this keyboard, but there might be, 64, 128, 256 parameters or more. And so the page buttons will take me between the relevant pages of knobs until I get to the thing I
Pan,
need.
HPF, noise, pan, broken.
Okay, I
Li-
can
speaker,
pan.
HP, line out.
I don't want to do that.
Options, noise and key off. Options, velocity. Noise, release.
The release of the key,
Release. Key off, level.
key off level. Too low is ridiculous, too high is ridiculous. Happy medium, please.
Auto wah and auto pan.
Auto wah.
wah, switch.
This is what I want now. Because I kind of want to vibe like. I want to do like a slow jam. So let's adjust. There's the wah.
Reso. Rate. Auto pan, switch. Auto wah, rate.
Right, I've got that kind of where I want it. Now, what kind of tempo shall I write this at? Let's see. I told you it'd be unedited. So when you play a mistake live on video, don't be embarrassed, I used to feel this way about playing things live, like people would be laughing at you because you're a shit musician. No, not at all. Play it through and see it through. And don't be put off and don't restart the video because you screwed up.
Chorus and
Just
phaser.
absolutely carry on.
Chorus, switch. Mix.
Damn, that is a lovely chorus, Sonica Chill.
Depth.
Thank you.
Switch.
I like that.
Depth.
I just want to...
Auto wah, switch. Freck. Switch.
Is that just an on-off switch? Is there a mix here?
Freck. Depth. Switch.
Oh, that's for the
Auto wah,
pan.
rate. Reso. Freck. Reso. Freck.
This is how we customize on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we do.
Delay and reverb. Comp, cabinet, EQ and distortion. Comp, cabinet, EQ and distortion. Delay and chorus and phaser. Auto wah and freck. Freck. Reso. Rate. Reso. Switch. Freck.
I think I will know what to do. Go back to the first
levels,
page here.
Levels. Line out. Line out. Speaker.
Because when you start adding effects, it makes the thing very loud. So you just want to make sure that the
Line
level
out,
doesn't
speaker.
get too obnoxious. All right, that's reasonable. And if it's not, you
Line
can always
out,
come back to it
speaker.
after. Tempo, something like that.
120.000.
So this is 120.
100.000.
Drop this down using Logic
90.0000.
90.
80.0000.
That's too slow.
83.00.
Let's
84.0000.
try like 84.
Track mixer group. Tracks group. One
I'll
bar,
play
one
this
beat.
without recording, get the feel for it. That could be work.
10 bars, 2 beats,
Might knock it
530
up a
ticks.
little.
Tracks, toolbar. 84.0 in slide. 87.0000.
87.
11, 1 bar.
Let's try a
Mixer,
recording
group,
and see what we
tracks,
think.
group.
Might not take, might take, who knows? The melody would go over this point, you see. We'll stop there.
25 bars, 1 beat, 4.
So we have a thing. Now, the first thing I have to do is show you that when I play this back, it's not going to be right because of the quantized value. The quantized value is set to 16ths, and it's straight, and I need swing. So listen to this.
2 bars, 3 beat, 11 bars.
Forward. It's too straight.
12 bars,
So
3.
let's go into the inspector.
Table. Inter loop. Smart quantize. 1/16
Change
note.
the smart quantize
Menu.
value
1/32 triplet. 1/100. 1/16 swing B. 1/
maybe 1/16 swing C.
1/16 swing C. Pop up button. 12 bars. 1 beat, 1 tick. 11 bars.
Swing D.
1/16 swing B. 1/15
That's
bars.
better.
Track 2 complete.
All right, so that's done.
Mixer group tracks. Track 1 piano.
Let me rename this from piano to keys,
Selection list. K.
just to be on the safe side. Let's start saving this as well.
Track 2.
Let's just
Save project.
we'll call
Content
this
selected.
the YouTube,
YouTube.
groove, since that's where I started
Progress
writing
dial.
the damn
YouTube
thing,
groove.
and just see what we go. So
Logic
I have
OS.
this now
Logic
empty
OS.
track. So I could do a number of things at this point. I could go bass, I could go drums, I can actually put the melody down itself. Let's put a drum kit down though.
Preset browse.
Where will we go? Let's try.
Alicia's keys.
Well, you'll hear where I'm going to go with this speech active.
SD read all. Contact.
Contact.
Banks. World. VSL. Urban Beats.
And choose urban beats. There are lots of cool
Preset.
kits within urban
The YouTube
beats.
groove tracks window.
Let's see
Track 2 complete group.
what
Octave -1.
The YouTube groove
drums
tracks window. Track 2
appeal
complete
to
group.
me now.
The YouTube groove tracks window. The YouTube groove tracks. The YouTube groove tracks window. Track.
I'm going to disable voiceover
Voiceover off.
temporarily so that it doesn't talk every time I change patches. Because it does even annoy me and I have to live with it. And sometimes what you've got to do is play the track along with the beat, see if any of these kicks fit. Because you don't always know just by guessing and going through bit by bit, you know? By the way, I was asked what this control surface up here is. It's the Korg Nano Control 2, which I use occasionally. Sits on the end of my keyboard all the time. Gives me pan and volume faders. And it's kind of nice. That's a nice sounding kit. What can I do with it? Maybe nothing. Oh, there's a nice tone there. You know what? During a recording, you'll find that you come back and go over things 10 times occasionally. Sometimes it takes 15,
Voiceover
16
logic.
retakes to do anything right. So it turns out that I'm going to try this.
One bar.
It might not be, and you're probably all going, oh my God, no, don't do that. But I don't know that yet. I'll put it down, and then if it turns out that when I come to put a bass track down, I hate it, then I won't do it. But you just don't know until you do it. So
The YouTube group.
I'm going to
Track
try
2. Track 3 complete.
this, but the end result might not sound like this. So maybe when I come back to this in another video, if I do ever, or if I just scrap it because it's so crap and horrible that I can't be seen
One bar.
to be involved in it, then you know, it might be a completely different sound, and that's
One tick.
likely. That's very likely. All your favorite tracks never went from point A to point Z with no changes in between.
One bar.
I'd be very surprised if they did, to be honest. It's rare. So let me try this, even if it is a god-awful kit. It might not be. It might work fine. I don't know yet. Bear with me.
Five bars.
Right, that's where we stopped for now. So
One bar,
I
one
can
beat, one
quantize that. Let's see.
10 bars. 1 beat. Selection replace. Drums. 12 bars. 3 track.
I'm going to have to redo part of the keys track at some point because the quantize didn't quite go as planned. However, that's okay. Let me say what I've got
Complete
with
group one
Command
updated item.
S. Let's change to a bass track.
Preset browse.
Sometimes when you build up a track, it's literally that you put everything down as a guide once, and then when you've got some things in place, like a jigsaw puzzle, you go back and redo it. That's okay. These things
Flash.
happen. Now, I need to think of where I'm going to go for a bass line. I could go for an acoustic bass, which I've got lots of lovely acoustic basses, or a great synth bass, of which I have lots of lovely synth basses. If you could talk, I would ask you your point. But since you can't talk, you'll have to go with mine temporarily.
Reactor. Scarby pre-bass. Scarby pre-bass. Scarby MM bass amped.
One of my all-time favorite bass
Scarby
plugins
MM
of all
bass
time.
amp.
Progress. The
Heavy.
YouTube group. Tracks. Window. Track 2 complete. Group.
Octave 0.
Not that plug, not
Progress.
that
The YouTube
preset.
group. Tracks. Window. Track 2 complete. Group. Progress. The YouTube group. Progress. The YouTube group. Tracks. Window. Track 2 complete. Group. Progress. The YouTube group. Tracks. Window. Track 2 complete. Group.
It probably will end up being a synth bass.
12
But
bars. 1
sometimes
bar.
I
1
like
beat.
to
1
play
tick.
an acoustic to just get the feel of what I'm thinking about. What's that?
20, 19 bars. 1 beat. 18. 17 bars. 1 beat. 1 tick.
Ah. C
24,
sharp.
23 bars. 1 beat. 1 tick.
See,
25 bars.
when you-
271 ticks.
when you're in the vibe and you're playing something, you don't always know what it is you play.
Progress. The YouTube group.
So
Tracks.
it
Window.
takes you a little
Track 2
while
complete.
to
Group.
reacclimatize. So this happens to me a great deal. I'll play
Progress.
something,
The
and then
YouTube
when I
group.
come to put a bass line
Tracks.
down
Window.
on top of
Track
it,
2.
I'm like full of mistakes. I have no idea what the hell I played.
1 bar. 1 beat. 1 tick.
So let's put a guide bass down, even if I don't
Progress
end
dial.
up
YouTube
keeping
group
it,
tracks.
you know, the
Window. Track 2
the
complete group.
score by now.
1 bar 1 beat 1 tick.
All right, let's see. Craziness.
25 bars 1 beat.
Only comes at the end. Okay.
1 bar 1 beat 1 bar 1 bar 1
I'm going to redo that.
bar 1 beat 1 tick.
Yep, the joys of recording.
1 bar.
You've got to hear it again. Sorry, guys. You can fast forward. Like you have the option. I don't. I've got to play it. Let me
bars
go
2,
back and
19 bars 1, 18 bars 1 beat 1
sing
tick.
that again.
18 bars 3 beats 100.
Stuck note. The joys of stuck notes. Okay.
18 bars 1 beat. 1 tick. 18 bars 1 beat. 19.
So
19
from bar
bars 1 beat 1
19,
tick.
I'm going to delete forward
18 bars
so
1 beat
I
1.
can
19.
redo it because I screwed up just that last bit. Deleted it.
19 bars 3. 19 bars 1 beat 1 tick. 20 bars 1 beat 850 ticks.
Actually, hold on.
21 bars 1 beat 1 tick. 21 bar. 20 bars 1 beat. 19 bars 1 beat. 20 bar.
Okay.
19 bars. 19 bars.
So I'm saying, let's do it. All right, that's enough of that. Save what I've got there.
Complete selection of
Bass,
B.
quantize
1 bar
it.
1 beat 1 tick.
Turn off the metronome for
One
the
bar
first
beats.
time and
One
play
bar.
it from the top. Actually,
Track 3 drums 1. Track 2
before
bass
I do
group 1
that,
updated
let
item.
me duplicate the track, which I've been doing with Command
Progress
D.
dial.
And what that actually
YouTube
does,
group track.
it duplicates the track without any MIDI data on it. So it's just that I can have another track to go and work with and change the melody
Track 2 bass. Track 3 bass.
or whatever I want. So this track 3 is called bass. So what we have is so far
Track 1 keys. Group.
track 1 keys,
Track 2 bass. Group 1 updated
track
item.
2 bass,
Track 3 bass. Group.
track 3 is called bass as well, but it's actually empty.
Track 4 drums 1. Group 1.
Track 4 is drums 1. So
Track 3 bass.
track 3 I'm going to rename to
Selection replaced. M.
melody.
Track 2. Track 3 melody. Group 1.
I'm going to save it
Mixed tracks. Group.
just to make sure that if anything crashes, which, you know, computers are prone to do occasionally, these things happen, it's just luck of the draw, I can actually do what the hell I need to do. So,
Preset browse.
melody. The thing
Category,
about
all
that is
categories.
I have no idea where I want to take this melody from, whether I want it to be synth, brass, piano, vibraphone. Vibraphone? That could be interesting. Let me try something.
Analog.
We're going all the
Strike.
way down to Air
Category,
Music
all categories.
Expand,
Span 2.
which I covered in a previous video, at least I covered a sound from, and I'm going to
Types. Action.
find
Basses.
a thing.
Bright. EP. Hit. Hardly. Hit. Loops.
I've gone too far.
Guitar. Ethnic. E-pianos and
What
clav.
have I?
Hardly. Hits. Huge. Loops. Multitim. Multitrack up. Organs. Percussive. Percussion.
Percussive.
Percussive.
What's percussive?
Preset. +01 Celeste hard.
No,
Plus
I'm in the
04
right
breathy.
place.
plus 06 filter color, plus 07 high chime, plus 08, plus 09 club,
I think vibraphone.
plus 10
would be
percussive flat,
this
plus
somewhere.
11 clubwood, plus 12 bubbling heart,
Yes, I
plus
hope
13
so.
jump, plus 14 drunk wood, plus 15 EE ray, plus 16 percussive wires, plus 17 shatter square, plus 19 cottoish, plus 20 brass arp, plus 21 dumbeck, plus 23 cello attack, plus 25 velo saw,
Maybe not.
plus 27 crank call, plus 28 thumb up, plus 29 perks FM, plus 31 cold drum high, plus
No,
33 attack,
I'm not finding what I'm looking for.
plus 12 bubbling,
which is a shame.
plus 04 breathy, plus 01 Celeste hard,
Celeste is in
preset,
there.
plus 02 breathy times,
That leaves me to believe.
types, percussive, percussion, polysynths, simple arpeg, soft lids, soft pads, strings, synth basses, synth brass, vocals,
All right, not there. Go back.
mallets,
Ah, mallets. That's what I was
preset,
trying
plus
to find.
01 Celeste, plus 02 Celeste, plus 03 Celeste, plus 04 metallic, plus 05 hard mallet, plus 07 pretty mallet, plus 08 FM, plus 09 bright FM, plus 10 concert mallets, plus 11 callusts, plus 12 old Celeste, plus 13 Celeste attack, plus 14 FM mallet bottle, plus 15 hybrid Celeste, plus 16 metal vibes, plus 17 synthetic steel drum, plus
Oh,
16
metal vibes. Are you going to be the thing I'm looking
preset,
for?
plus 16 metal vibes.
No, you're not. Right, let's just go in this category. I know that the thing I'm looking for is in here somewhere.
Notification center. Voiceover settings activity. Steve, close button. Press.
Calendar
Logic
alerts
Alexa.
come up on my Mac there.
Octave 0.
The YouTube group
All
tracks
right, I
window.
found it, but it's too ringy for my purposes, so it's not what I want. But that's okay. These things, as I say, do happen. So now I have to consider what kind of sound I want for my piece. And while I do
One bar,
that,
one.
I'll just let it play.
Studio drama. Orchestral companions. Monopoly. Loop. Contract.
5 bar.
Actually,
Track 2 bass group 1.
one thing,
Track 1 keys. In track horizontal plus 0.0 dB. In minus 2.0
let's
dB.
turn the keys track down a little.
Track 2 bass group 1.
And
Track
the
3
bass
melody.
track
Group track
down
2.
a
In track 2 bass text. Mute horizontal 64 of 64. 0 pan. Circular slider. 60 plus 0.64 of 64. Left channel pan. Circular slider. Track 1 keys. Track 2 bass group 1 updated item. Track 1 keys. Group 1 updated item.
Okay,
Track 2.
that's very strange.
Track 3 melody. Group track 2. In track horizontal 64 of 64. Left channel pan. Circular slider.
He seems to think the pan on the bass track is
In circular slider.
all the
54
way
of 64.
over.
Left channel pan.
It's not.
4, 30, 24, 14, 4 of 6 of 63, 16 of 63, right channel pan.
Oh,
6 of
no.
64, 4 of 64, 1 of 0 pan, out of circular,
Right, there we go.
plus 0.0, in, minus 3.0 dB. Out of slider, track 1, keys. In track 1, minus 2.0 dB, in, minus 4.0 dB. Out of slider, out of track.
Right,
Track 3, melody, group 1 updated item. 6 bar,
that's a bit less loud. The bass track was just really, well, the
Product
keys track was
contract.
just incredibly loud. I don't know how that happened.
Hybrid X60. Hybrid.
Right,
FM8.
melody.
DB33.
You've heard the melody
Battery.
that I'm thinking of.
Action strikes.
So now I have to work out
Absinthe.
what I'm going to use to play it. And there are just so many choices.
Banks. All banks.
I don't know what I want to use.
Types.
Guys.
Brass.
This is a
Multi-track.
problem.
Piano. Sound effect. Soundscape. Synth LED. Preset. Keys ambient V single JP.
I'm in Absinthe now. Just for some crazy ideas. I probably won't find what I'm looking for. But as I've said, you know, certainly a track doesn't necessarily get built in a day.
Preset browse. Factory. Preset Aldebaran. Types synth LED. Preset Aldebaran.
So many sounds and so many products to choose from. Sometimes it is hard to know what to do. But I want to put something down so that you guys can hear the melody in situ as I perceive it. Worst case, I'll go back to piano. Just play it on piano instead. Some of the mad sounds that I have at my disposal, as you now hear. There are tons of them. Some nice, some not so nice. Some kind of crazy. Sometimes I wish you could talk.
Preset browse.
Looking at you in the camera, yes, you. Can you talk to
Use
me?
product Absinthe.
Can you Can you give me ideas? Can you tell me what it is to look for?
FM8.
That would be really helpful.
Poly6.
I wish.
Tony Coleman
you
drums
could talk.
X64. Poly6.
Okay, let me think about this here a second. Let me try just your run-of-the-mill piano,
Structure.
or maybe even a Rhodes, because that would be okay too.
Monopoly. Massive.
Gonna try
M1.
a Rhodes.
Legacy cell.
And for
Mass-
that, we will go
Legacy cell. Contract. Keyscape.
to the glorious keyscape.
Types. All type. Belltone. Clavinets. All type. Hybrid piano. Electric pianos. Subtype. Duo. Honopi. Rhodes. Wurlitz 100. Vintage Vibe Electric.
Let's
Preset.
try the
Vintage Vibe Electric
Vibe
piano.
EP, which is lovely.
Six bars, 2 beats, 294
What can I
ticks.
do with
1 bar, 1
this?
beat, 1 tick.
What I might actually do, yes,
Track 2, bass.
I need to do this.
1 bar, 1 beat, 1 tick. 1 bar, 1.
I need to drag all of these tracks forward by one
1 bar,
bar
1.
because
2 bars, 1 beat, 1 tick. Track 1, keys, group 1 up. 1 bar, 1 beat, 1 tick. Track 2,
the way the
track 4,
melody
drums 1.
starts, it needs a lead in.
1 bar, 1 beat, 1 tick. Logic Pro X. 2 bars, 1 beat, 1 tick. 3 bars, 1 beat. 2 bars, 1. 1 bar, 1 beat, 1 tick. 2 bars, 1
Right,
beat.
that's that.
Track 3, melody, group 1 updated item.
So
1
that
bar,
I
1
can go
beat, 1
like
tick.
this. Hold on. Let me show
1 bar,
you
1 beat, 1
something.
tick.
That's where she ended. We're
28
going
bars,
to
1.
use that because
1
that's
bar,
a
1.
nice sound. So I'll be able to throw in a slight solo in the track as well, as I've realized there's room. So I put the melody down initially, and then there's a little room for a bit of improvisation, and that's where we'll end the video after this. I'm going to record the melody and see how
1 bar, 1
it
beat, 279.
feels.
1 bar.
And I can come back to it in my own time. I don't want to keep you here all week doing the same thing because you're probably bored already. So I'm going to record this, and I hope you've enjoyed this so far. I've had fun making this, as always. And that's that.
1 bar,
Now
1.
what I'm going to do is turn off the quantize for that because it's a melodic thing and
Table.
it should be free
Intake, Q swing.
flowing.
Smart contact 1/16
If I
notes.
leave that on, it will do all sorts of bad things.
Menu
So
check mark off.
set the quantize
Off.
to
Off.
off,
Mix tracks group. 1 bar mixer group tracks group.
save what I've got,
1 bar 1.
and play it back. And then I'm going to just leave the shot, and I hope you've enjoyed hearing this composition come to light. Thank you for listening. See you next time.